What's up, everybody? Coach Ceelo here, and today is episode 20 of the No Bullshit Six-Figure Sales Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about, now, actually, this is, guys, aside from the podcast, the 10 section podcasts that I did about the sales process, a lot of these are just different themes that I've either done in sales meetings or I've done for companies when companies have brought me in to help with their sales force. I've done a couple of them on stages and stuff. And so today I'm going to do one that is not, this is not for the companies. This is not for the leadership team. This is for you. All right. If you're trying to break into six-figure sales, if you're having a little bit of difficulty, this is the conversation. And the reason why this conversation is not the kind of one that I would do on stage for a company, it's not the kind of one that they would have me come in when I'm talking to the sales force, is because it's kind of an us versus them conversation, right? So I call this topic persistence versus shift. And number one, if you are, what is my ideal audience? I don't have an ideal audience. I help everybody with sales, all right? I've helped people that are already six-figure performers to do even better than what they're doing and get to the next level. But my goal is I want to help as many people as possible that haven't hit six figures, hit six figures. It's always been my goal. And the reason why is because once you help somebody make six figures, you've changed their life. And so for those of you that haven't, this specifically is for you, all right? And the reason why I call this persistence versus shift is because to be a successful salesperson, to make six figures, to be a successful entrepreneur and business owner even, you have to be persistent. You have to be able to go through the valleys and the peaks of life and maintain yourself doing it until you come out the other end of the tunnel, till there's light at the end of the tunnel, right? Sometimes just showing up every day is all you've got to do. You just got to keep showing up and showing up and showing up until it eventually starts working out in your favor. But sometimes you also have to learn from those peaks and from those valleys. And you have to learn and shift. And so I've always been very, very hard-headed. That's what's helped me be successful. Normally, I will put my head down and I will get to work and I will do whatever I got to do to get it done. But one time I heard E.T., the hip-hop preacher, I heard him do, and I believe it's in his most famous clip, the one about the guru and how you have to want it more than you want to breathe to be successful. I believe it's in that one. Maybe if I have a chance, maybe we'll put the clip in here. I know this isn't a reaction video, but maybe if we can put it in there. And during that clip, there's a specific part where he says, sometimes you just have to know when to pass. Not every opportunity is for you. And you have to realize when an opportunity is not for you, you just have to learn to pass. And so that's what I want you to understand is that there's a dynamic between the persistence and between shifting on to something else. And especially if you haven't reached that six figure yet. Why? Well, you have to understand your business model, right? Remember, if you're making 40 grand, 50 grand, 60 grand, 70 grand a year, and you're trying to get into 100, 120, 140, 150, 160, right? First of all, does the business model allow that? Are there other people doing it? Now, does that really matter in the end? No. If you know your shit and you're good, you can be the first one to do it. But when you're trying to break your own mold, you should put yourself in a position where the deck is stacked in your favor, where the hand is stacked in your favor. So I've talked before about stacking the deck to your favor. You got to make sure that the business model permits that. You got to make sure that the industry that you're in permits that. You've got to make sure that the company that you work for permits that. You've got to make sure that the team that you work in permits that. Because if you've got a better producing team and you're on a low struggling team, guess what? Everybody knows this. You are the sum of the 5 people close to you. And if you're trying to break out of that, you need to be the dumbest guy in that room. You need to be the dumbest one in that group, because eventually they will bring you up and your lessons will bring you up to where that needs to be. So number 1, understand the business model. Am I in a place where I can do all of these things? And if not, you're going to have to shift. You're going to have to shift teams. You might have to shift company. You might have to shift industry. Guys, put yourself in a position. Now, if you're new to sales, just get your chops up. Just learn. Take the stuff I'm teaching you, put it out there. But if you're already in the sales game, you're not bad at what you're doing, and you're like, man, why are there people out there that are making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year, and I'm stuck making $60,000 or $70,000 a year? Then that's when you got to start realizing, hey, maybe persistence isn't the problem. Maybe the problem is that life is trying to give me a hint, and the hint is get the hell out of there. Put yourself somewhere else. Listen, I don't know a whole lot about car sales, right? But I am positive that if you are a great car salesman, you don't care where you go. But when you're first starting, if you can sell, you got yourself first to the point where you can sell. But if you can sell, I'm going to assume that you're going to make a little bit more money selling Maseratis and Ferraris and Lamborghinis than you are at CarMax. Nothing wrong with CarMax. But I'm just saying, even if you're the new guy, I think the new guy that is good is going to make more money selling luxury cars. And I may be wrong. You guys out there that are in the business, put some comments out there and let me know, right? I may be wrong. But if I was in the car business, the first thing I would do is get my chops up so that I'm good. Not great, just good. Now, once I know I'm good, okay, where within my industry could I make the most money? Just being good. Because I got to put food on the table while I'm working on getting great, right? So if there's somewhere I can go where I'm going to be surrounded by people that are great, that can teach me how to become great, but I'm already making good money, absolutely. So did I shift or did I persist? I shifted in that case. I understood that it was going to take me X amount of time to get great. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to shift and put myself somewhere where I'm going to be able to make more money. Now, some people, maybe it's not luxury cars. It's in a place that's high volume and they're making low commission, but they're selling so many cars that they're still making money. Okay, get great there. But there's going to come a time where you're going to realize, oh, wait a minute, this is a grind. And if I was selling the luxury cars, it would take me a little longer and I might sell less cars, but I'm going to make more money. Just, you know what? Let me know if my thinking is right. My thinking is right in general. I just don't know if it's perfectly right in terms of the car business. But you guys tell me, right? So understand your business model. Know the shelf life of your business or opportunity. Man, this is a big one. This is going on for all my high ticket closers out there. Listen, in the beginning, you just want to get hired. Take whatever they give you and get good at it and get good at following. Hopefully, the training is really good, because that's the only thing that matters in the beginning, is that somebody believed in you to put you out there and that you're getting exposed to training that will make you shit hot. If not, keep listening to me anyway. I got you, right? But know the shelf life of that business or that opportunity, because some of these high ticket opportunities are flops. And if you it's kind of like a meme coin. If you got on at the right time, you're riding that flop up. But once it flops, you're done. Still looks good on the resume. If you made money, even more so. But know the shelf life of that business or that opportunity. You know, some things require time. So there might be a ramp up time before you start making that kind of money. Well, if you haven't made that kind of money to begin with, who cares, right? But now, if you're a seasoned professional that's used to making that money, is it worth that ramp up time where you're going to take a little dip? Well, only you know that, right? And some things don't. Some things is such a well-built machine that if you get someone and you put them in the training and then they're out of the training, if they perform at minimum KPI levels, they're already making money. Everybody should know what a KPI is if you're in sales, all right? Key performance indicator. That's kind of a buzzword for everything that has to do with measuring and tracking sales, right? So understand the difference between a business that has to be grown and nurtured versus being exploited as cheap labor. That's the other side. If they're selling you on why it's going to be a slump first, you need to remember something. We're here to sell the customer on something, and typically management is here to sell you on something. So there are businesses where the whole process is created just to get cheap leads or cheap qualification done. And what I mean by that is there's a big churn. They hire a shit ton of people. The shit ton of people get all the crappy work done. And then when something good happens or something good is found, basically you're just a qualifier at that point, even though they told you were a salesperson. You get something good, now you're getting somebody senior involved, who's the real closer, who's the real salesperson. And then they're making that commission or they're splitting that commission with you or whatever the case may be. But you're basically sifting through all the junk. So what are they doing? They're basically exploiting you as cheap labor. They could care whether you don't hit your KPIs or not. They could care whether you're gone in a week or two, whether you paid your bills, whether you didn't, whether that doesn't matter, because all they're doing is having a way of basically getting almost free work. Now, if you put yourself in that position, that's your problem. You got to realize that, though. Now, do some people work their way out of that up into the higher ranks? Yeah, but that's a grind. It's much better if you built yourself in another industry, another company, somewhere else as a top performer, you have experience, and when somebody tries to hire you for one of those jobs, you say, nah, thanks. I'll tell you what, though, if you need anything for the closers, let me know. Oh, well, we only hire and come through. Sure, I get that, but unfortunately, I'm at a point in my career, in my life, where I don't do that. But guess what? You had to earn the right to be able to get yourself there. So again, guys, persistence versus shift. In the beginning, persistence is important. You have to get good. If you're not good, you have to persist, no matter where you're at, because nobody wants somebody who sucks. And if we piggyback on the last episode where I was talking about imposter syndrome and about confidence and limiting beliefs, until you have some type of confidence in yourself based on knowledge and experience and practice, then it won't matter. But once you get good, learn to take a hint. Sometimes God, the universe, the saints, whatever you believe in, your own subconscious is trying to give you a hint. And like E.T. said, sometimes you just have to know when to pass. Guys, my name is Ceelo, and this is the Six Figure Sales Podcast, the no bullshit Six Figure Sales Podcast. I have helped hundreds and hundreds of salespeople break through, reach, attain, and maintain six figures. You keep listening to me, you'll be the next.